It's a bit of a bummer because I wasn't expecting to be sitting at home in the garden talking to you. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shamir Shah project. This one again is something different, simply because I am in my house, I am in my garden, and as you can tell, I am starting to make this video in my garden. I was meant to be on a through hike of about 30 miles, not long, but it was going to be from Princess Risborough in the Chiltern Hills to home, and it was going to be about 30 miles, about 1700 feet of elevation, and I was going to do an overnight and just enjoy myself solo in nature. However, I'm not feeling too well, so I was going to take a train into Princess Risborough, start walking from there, spend an overnight at about halfway point of about 17 miles, and then the next day make my way back home, all through the hills, through nature, beautiful area. However, it's not worked out that way. But what I do have is my backpack packed right here. It's all ready to go. It's a 36-liter pack, so perfect for an overnight or a couple of nights, no problem. And I have also prepared some meals which I was going to make out on the trail, but because that's not happening, I am going to make my backpacking meals, or I am going to show you my backpacking recipes, and one in particular, and I'm going to make it right here in the garden. So I hope you stick with me. I hope you enjoy the ingredients. Very simple meal, but it is high calorific, and it keeps you going out on the trail and trekking for long miles, and it's very simple to make and quite fast as well. So in terms of my cook kit, and what I carry with me is very light and very simple. I'll start off with this. You've seen this one before. It's just a little pack where I can put all sorts of bits, extra cup, a fire lighter, a torch, a stove stand, a knife, a couple of lighters, utensils, a little chopping board, a bit of coffee, and camera batteries, etc. I keep it in there. My spice kit, that always goes with me. It's a beautiful little canvas pouch. A cup for drinking my coffees out of. A portable table, very lightweight, very small, but beautifully stable. This time I carried some liquid fuel to add to the burner so that I can cook up my meals, a bottle of water, and that's about it. That's all I carry. Apart from that, I've got my one-man tent, I've got the sleeping bag, I've got a sleeping mat, an inflatable pillow, and my waterproofs, and a spare pair of clothing, a pair of shorts, a pair of trousers, and a couple of t-shirts, and that's it. and that all fitted into my 36-litre backpack. But in terms of cooking, which is what we're talking about today, that's literally it. That's the kit. This is what I carried. It's a little mess tin this time round. That's what I was going to cook everything on over this trip. I really love this little table. It's a Snow Peak table. Very, very, very lightweight, but it just helps in stabilizing the cooking, anything I want to chop on it or prepare on it. It's just a wonderful little table, and fits perfectly in a tent, fits perfectly outside when cooking. It just works well. But let's have a look at this. What's in here? This was one of my lunch meals, or I could have swapped it out for a dinner meal. So I'll go through it with you. Everything is in here. Everything I need to cook, all my food for one meal is in here, and it's fantastic. So if I put this aside, I'll show you what's in there. So believe it or not, that's it. That's the meal. A few ingredients missing, but I'll tell you what they are. So as the base, I've got a stock cube in there. I've got some walnuts and some pecans in here. If you can see closely, I've got some couscous, I've got some chia seeds, and I've got some flattened rice. You find flattened rice in most Indian grocery stores or in large supermarkets where there is a good Asian population. But it's fantastic rice. You don't really have to cook it, you just have to soak it. That's basically it. All this stuff you just have to soak in hot water. And I have got some giant corn nuts, which are fantastic. This really flavors the meal. It's barbecue flavor. It's got a bit of kick to it. It's got some spice in there, good amount of salt, but mainly spicy barbecue flavor to add a lot more flavor than the stock cube itself. So it cooks up with this in the meal and gives it a bit of crunch and flavor to it. I can use wood in here or a Trangia fuel stove. So today I'm going to use the Trangia fuel stove, just because it's what I carried with me with some fuel, so it makes sense to do that. It's one of my go-to recipes when out on the trail. It's delicious. It's got a high level of calories, gives me a lot of energy, and it's just enjoyable when eating. That's my kit. I could use this, as mentioned, with wood. I can use it with fuel. And when I use it with wood, it's just pretty cool because I've got a little flame there. It's like a little fireplace. And I didn't have any raisins, so I'm not adding that. This is all the stuff that's been in my pantry, so it's one of those that I like to use to make simple things and be creative with it. The other thing you can add to the meal is olive oil. Add some olive oil, a tablespoon. I'm just estimating the water level because that's the way I like to do things. It's a great backpacking meal, this. I don't know about you guys, but I love being creative when it comes to meals, and I'm not a big fan of the freeze-dried or the backpacking meals that come in packets where you just add the boiling water, the dehydrated meals. I prefer putting things together myself. So yes, for the nighttime I did have a dehydrated packet meal, the backpacking meals. But in the day when I stop along the trail, I like to cook up something as well. I mean, it's a solo adventure. I've got the time. I had a couple of days off, so I thought, right, I'm going to do that. I love using mess tins. I've got 2 of them. This is the larger of the 2, and they both nest. Well, the smaller one nests within the big one, and I can add all my cooking kit in there, which is pretty cool. But on this trip, I was going light and just needed 1 pot really. And apart from the pot, I also can cook in here. This is a titanium cup, which I absolutely love. I've had it for a few years. The corn nuts. I'll add my garlic chili seasoning. Not too much because the corn nuts are quite spicy. And then some whole black peppers and some herbs. This is all mixed at home. I make it myself. And a tiny bit of Himalayan salt, very little. The stock has enough salt, so you just need a little bit. And helps reduce cramps as well when you're on the trail, so you know, like electrolyte salt is good for it. Flattened rice, the couscous, and the chia seeds. And that's it. I'll make a little coffee in the meanwhile. Cup of coffee is brewing. I thought I'd touch base on my upcoming events. In July, I have the 3-day hike and camp retreat. If you're interested in doing that, head over to my website, which is shamirshah.com. Have a look at that. I'll put the website address here. Also, I am introducing quite a few new day hikes. So beginner day hikes as well as advanced and intermediate level day hikes. So if you know anyone who's interested or anyone who'd like to join and come along, then please do let them know as well. And also I have a 3-day trek coming up in later this year towards the autumn, so we can see the autumn colors. If you know anyone who's interested in that, please ask them along. That's a beginner's trek, so a through hike for 3 days. That's starting to boil. It is quite a windy day. Perfect timing. The stove's just gone out. I've made my food. I've made my coffee. Let's give it a go. It's coffee, but it's weak coffee. I tend to like my coffee quite strong and black, always, no milk. But this is good. Ooh, watch out, Mackie. Watch out. There's a camera there. Well, there you go. Maybe a little bit too much water. But that's okay. It's cooked and it's good. I think next time I'll add a little bit less water just to keep it a bit more solid but moist. Let's give it a go. Yeah. That is really good. That is really good, actually. It's turned out well. A little bit soggy, but doesn't matter. The flavor's there, everything's cooked well. And when you're hiking, who doesn't mind more hydration and liquid in your body? What I'll do, guys, is I will put the recipe ingredients on the video, so you can take a snapshot or a screenshot or just write it down and make it yourself. Don't forget, you can also add raisins and some olive oil, and it's absolutely fabulous. So that meal there is round about 450-500 calories. With the raisins and the olive oil, you're looking at about 600. That's decent. That's a decent amount of calories to keep you going all day. Fantastic. I'm going to dive in, continue eating, drinking my coffee, and I hope you've enjoyed this backpacking meal recipe, and hopefully you can make it one day. Anyway, look, if you've liked this video, I'm sorry it's not me through hiking for 2 days type of video, but I was a bit upset. I had to sit in my garden, enjoy the beautiful, beautiful day, the sunshine, and just do something, because I was pretty upset that I wasn't feeling well and couldn't get out. But anyway, I'm okay. Take care, and I will see you out and about.